This was an 1 million a year finance interview, but the man walked into the office in shabby clothes covered with paint. The supervisor who had recommended him was stunned, and the boss looked even more disgusted. Facing everyone's gaze, the man didn't make excuses but explained frankly, "I was detained by the police all night because I didn't have money to pay a ticket, so I didn't have time to change into a suit." Looking at the resume with nothing more than a high school diploma, the boss impatiently threw out a tricky question, wanting to quickly end the interview.
What would you say if a guy walked in for an interview without a shirt on?
He must have had on some really nice pants.
However, Chris's humorous answer made everyone smile, unexpectedly winning him an internship opportunity. When he learned that the internship would last 6 months without pay, and that he would have to compete with 19 top graduates for the only full-time position, his heart was torn. For Chris, this was a dangerous gamble. He once invested all his savings in a bone scanner, but no one was interested, which led to his wife leaving him and his son to depend on each other. For the sake of his dream, he decided to accept the challenge. During the day, he worked hard at the company, and after work, he went to pick up and drop off his son. But after working for 2 months, he still hadn't landed a single deal. He directly called the heads of these companies, and to his surprise, one of them told him to come over right away. The sudden opportunity caught him off guard, and he rushed downstairs, but the annoying manager asked him to help park the car. Then he got stuck in traffic. When he finally found a parking space, he didn't pay the fee in order to save time. He ran straight to the foundation, but by the time he arrived, the contact had already left. When he returned to get his car, he found he had received a ticket. This is very fatal for him who has no money. On his day off, he took his son directly to the chairman's home. Relying on his sincerity and intelligence, he got to know many upper-class people through the chairman's introductions. By the 4th month, he had also sold all of his scanners. Just as life seemed to be improving, the government suddenly took the taxes from his account, and because they had no money, the hotel owner kicked father and son out. That night, they could only sleep in a public restroom, with Chris holding the door shut with his foot so his son could sleep peacefully in his arms. This was a man's moment of despair. This was a rock bottom he had never experienced before. But he truly had no money, so he had no choice but to sell blood to repair the last scanner. The light from the machine illuminated the whole shelter, and also lit up his heart. In the end, he sold it to a doctor and earned money for living expenses. On the last day of the internship, the people he met through the chairman brought him 31 deals. The boss called him into the office. Nervous and uneasy, Chris heard the words that changed his fate. "Tomorrow will be your first day as a full-time broker, if you want it." All the persistence and suffering had finally paid off. He could no longer hold back his emotions. Excited, he walked out of the company, and in the crowded street, tears streamed down his face as he clapped for himself.